I was one of these cashiers at Walmart, I would be letting people walk out with 50-inch flat screen TVs for the price of a Tombstone pizza and not blinking an eye.
This left-wing TikTok is going viral defending shoplifting, and I have some thoughts and feelings about it that I want to share with you all. We're going to break it all down, but first, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brad Polumbo. I cover all the craziest things on the internet from a center-right, sane perspective. If you're new here, do consider subscribing, and do like and comment as you enjoy this video. Now, without further ado, let's hear this guy out. Maybe it's not as bad as you think. Maybe he has some good points. I don't know. Let's see what he has to say.
Basically, everybody on Earth is stealing from self-checkouts.
You're never gonna catch me giving a single that Deborah, single mother of four, stole a 1-pound bag of Granny Smith apples from the Walmart self-checkout, all while nearly 15,000 Walmart employees are so poor that they're collecting welfare benefits. Y'all can only conceptualize theft when it involves the stealing of a tangible object, and only when that theft is being done by people in dire need, who are literally only stealing out of necessity. Let's instead talk about the wage theft that these corporations are and have been guilty of for many decades, okay? Just to give you some context, the average hourly pay of a cashier at, say, Walmart is like $11.48. Mind you, this is the same company that made well over $12 billion in net profit this year, and this was a bad year, apparently, for Walmart. Let me tell you something. If I was one of these cashiers at Walmart, I would be letting people walk out with 50-inch flat screen TVs for the price of a Tombstone pizza and not blinking an eye. Okay? Maybe if we paid every American who is working full-time a livable wage, they wouldn't have to be stealing toilet paper and box dinners. You know what I mean? The solution is so simple. It's right here on the nose. But instead, y'all will convolute it, and you'll do what you always do, and you'll threaten to revoke our self-checkout status. Oh no, but we know good and well that y'all are not about to go and pay more people to do what these machines are doing for free, okay? If y'all keep paying your cashiers so poorly, by the way, I don't see why they would be cracking down on theft any more than these self-checkout machines are. From the sounds of it, your own cashiers may have to start stealing your groceries just to survive. Like, if y'all are not gonna pay your workers more, then take your losses, okay? It's what we're all doing. It's cute, it's fun.
I have so many problems with this video that I hardly know where to start, but it's so deeply depressing to me that this literally got millions of views and over 600,000 likes on TikTok. Yeah, this is what young people are being exposed to and apparently liking and appreciating on TikTok. So anyway, for one, it's hilarious to me that this guy is basically advertising that he would be a terrible employee and telling people to never hire him ever. Oh, you just let people steal from your employer? I hope your future employers, when you're applying for jobs, do think to check your social media because they might want to know that before they hire you. More importantly, though, the idea that shoplifting, which is a huge problem in this country, particularly in a few urban areas, is just starving single moms of four stealing a loaf of bread to feed their hungry children is completely not true. A significant chunk of shoplifting, especially in those urban areas, is actually done by career criminals. You've got organized retail theft problems. They steal stuff in mass in these crazy operations and then resell it on the black market to make cash. And even when it is just individual people, not organized crime, stealing stuff, it's still not exactly how he described it. I looked it up, and the 3 most frequently stolen things from Walmart are cosmetics, electronics, and toys. In fairness, food is on there at number 5, but also rounding out the top 10 are jewelry and intimate products like toys. So anyone telling you that shoplifting is just poor people stealing bread to fill their empty stomach is not being completely honest. And regardless, even in that situation, stealing is wrong. Guess what happens when you steal stuff? It's not like companies just eat that loss, it all just comes out of some CEO's pay somewhere. No. It's called shrinkage, and businesses account for it when they set their prices. That means when you steal stuff, your community, everyone around you who follows the law and doesn't steal, gets to pay more for the stuff they need to survive. And if the stealing actually gets bad enough, stores will just move out and leave an area. That screws over the people in that community who rely on those stores to get the things they need, and it's a decrease in economic opportunity and potential employment for the people in your neighborhood, in your community. Is that really something you think is deserving of a Yas Queen or a TikTok celebrating it? Like, really? Secure property rights are actually one of the necessary conditions for flourishing under capitalism. It's not exactly a coincidence that the strength of property rights in a country closely correlates with its income per person. There's also something inherently morally degrading to the individual who does the stealing. We all know that stealing is morally wrong, no matter who you're stealing from, even a big corporation. And I promise you, most of those shoplifters, even the single mom, they know they're doing something wrong when they leave that store without paying. They feel guilt and shame. Why? Because they know they're doing something immoral. And there's something degrading about that, even for the person, even if they get away with it. Folks like this are also attempting to exploit the public's ignorance. So for example, touting around this 13 billion in net profit figure like it's, oh, so much money. And of course, it is a lot of money, but Walmart is a huge, huge enterprise. And when you actually put that in context to the amount of business and revenue they do, it's about a 2% profit margin, which is actually kind of slim in business. And you could divide up that entire profit across all the employees, which of course, if the business was making no profit, then it would eventually go under. And you could give them like $2 or $3 an hour raise at most. Folks like this want to complain about a livable wage, but their moralizing just completely ignores economic reality. Say that you do make the minimum wage $20 an hour, because that's the new livable wage. Remember, the fight for 15 didn't last long. That's not even good enough anymore. Well, I'm sorry, babe, but a lot of people who work at Walmart in those entry-level positions, they don't actually produce $20 in revenue for Walmart every hour that they work. So what you would be doing is making it legally impossible for them to profitably employ these people and give them a job without actively losing money for hiring that person. So they wouldn't. Tons of people would be unemployed or have their hours cut as a result of this kind of policy. It also further implement technologies like self-checkout to minimize the amount of labor they actually need. And to whatever extent they do have to hire some people at these arbitrarily high wages, that's just going to be reflected in the prices that working class people then have to bear and pay. So not actually better off. At the end of the day, TikTokers like this need to realize that they're not helping anybody by celebrating and defending stealing and pushing economically illiterate policies. You're actually morally degrading our society and unintentionally advocating for higher prices and more unemployment. Other than that, you're doing great, sweetie. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Do drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and if you're still here, you probably did. And please do consider subscribing. This channel's growing so fast. We were at like 20K subscribers at the start of 2023, and we're gonna round out the year with like 95K. So we're growing so fast. I'm so happy to have you all here with me. And thanks again for watching. If you're not sick of me yet, somehow, I'm not sure how that could be the case, but if you're not sick of me yet and you want more of my content, go here or here to watch more of my recent videos.